Don't know. Cool guy, though. So it's pretty easy. Checked in and then paid. I'm not going to talk back here because most of the people are staying here for an hour and they're usually sleeping during the day. But just to let you kind of give you an idea of the rooms. All the hourly rooms are here on the first floor. So greetings and a wet aloha from Pudong Airport in Shanghai. So I'm at, no, not the really cool radio tower in Shanghai. I'm at the airport hotel, and it's kind of neat. It's got this like little thing up there, which is the restaurant, and it's got the hotel on either side. Over there is Terminal 1, and over here is Terminal 2, the newer terminal. And I don't know if you can see it way in the distance there, but that is probably the makings of Terminal 3. And so it's about probably 80 degrees, maybe 75, 80 degrees. My hair, I know, I look like junk. I just finished a nice, probably 4-hour nap, which was definitely doable. I got one of the hourly rooms, which I think it's 6 hours for 300 won, 200 won deposit. So basically ends up being about $45 out of pocket. Totally worth it, for me at least. The water is hot. The cups are 2. The kettle is new, and it comes with 2 bottles of water. The bedding is fluffy, which is cool. The beds are a little hard, but quite frankly, that actually yields a pretty good pretty good sleep for me, at least. So anyway, and there's the tower over there, if you can see it. And I don't know if you can see in the distance, but there's the makings of a new terminal. So there was a part of me that was like, oh man, you're such a total wimp. You're not living your ass off. Come on, Mike, put your luggage somewhere. Get out into Shanghai and check it out. And I said, I don't know if I can do this. I said, all right, well, at the end of the day, what I'll do is, at a minimum, I'll just get a hotel, these hourly hotel room things, which is Hotel 168, by the way, which you may have or may not have seen in the forums of various websites online. And yeah, it's basically like a 3-star hotel. You're definitely paying for the convenience. And I think there's like a buffet you can get and all that. The elevator thing is in the center, and it was interesting too because there was like Travelocity and that sort of thing. People would have posts like, hey, how do I get to this hourly hotel kind of thing? Oh my God, it's so difficult to find, and I couldn't find the rates online or whatever. So I'm going to tell you, it's $45 for 6 hours. And it's super easy to find because no matter where you are in the terminal. Especially when I got out of getting my luggage, one of the first things I ran into were people, hawking cabs, right? But then there were also people that had like name badges on, sort of thing. And the interesting thing about the name badges is they're numbered; they don't have their name on it. Same with here at the hotel, at the front desk at reception. There's like I think the person that checked me in was 0202. That's kind of interesting. But in any case, they were, like, can I help you? And they spoke English. And we were able to communicate, and I was like, so where's this hotel? And they said, the airport hotel? I said, yeah, the hourly hotel. And everyone told me the exact same location. So hopefully this video will help you if you're here at Pudong and you want to get to the hourly hotel. Now you can absolutely get it for 1, 2, 3 nights, whatever you want. I mean, it's a standard hotel thing. And you can book it online. The guy actually standing in front of me, he had a reservation. I don't know if that's cheaper. It could be. I suppose you could look it up on AGODA or Booking or whatever. I'll put a link below to if I find it on AGODA or Booking if you want to try and do it through there. But I did want to check in here and say that I'm very grateful that after about 2 hours of sleep I woke up. What's that noise? And it was pouring rain. So right now it's really just sort of breezy, overcast, a little bit of drizzle. But I certainly wouldn't have made good use of an observation deck anywhere in town, and I definitely wanted to do that. The only thing I'm disappointed that I didn't do or make the time to do is the maglev train, which is, I didn't realize that's been around since 2002. So talk about ahead of themselves and ahead of the world in technology. Now again, they partnered with the Germans, and you could argue that the Germans make things like that exceptionally well. Public transport, or it's fairly large electrical types of things. So anyway, I didn't make it to that, and I still may. It's about 1:30 right now. My flight leaves at 7:30. I'm going to check my bags, and I already checked over at the Delta desk, and I can check my bags in about 4. So I'm going to do that standard, like 3 hours ahead of time before your flight leaves to check in. I was a little disappointed because Delta was in fact open. The desks were open at about 7 in the morning, but they wouldn't take my bags early. So thank you again to Thai Airways in Suvarnabhumi for taking my bags hours ahead of time. Now that said, right, everything, I live gratefully, very serendipitously, because one of the nicest things was that they didn't take my bags, so therefore I'm at this hotel and I can change my clothes and take a shower and actually have like my really hip mechanical Oral-B toothbrush. So, you know, the good and bad, right? So anyway, I just wanted to check in from here. Super easy to find. I mean, it's really the only building, quite frankly, in between the two terminals. So I recommend it if you've got a long layover and you're not going to go out and see the sights. So Terminal 1, definitely the older one, and it's kind of funny. I mean, I've been to some other communist countries, if you will, and you know, Vietnam, that sort of thing, and there is this sort of lack of individuality that you see in commerce. You know, combined with a KFC and a McDonald's and a Starbucks and you know, right next to one another. So so it's definitely, you know, it's definitely westernized. And you know, it's not like people are driving gross cars, that's for sure. It's a beautiful Mercedes up there. I also noticed in my room they had a little thing where you can just get a QR code for Let's Go, which looks like it's basically the local cab solution. And probably a Grab type of solution. You just probably have an app on your phone. So, only drive on the left here. I didn't know that. So, anyway, so it's Mike's from LiveMyAssOff.com at the airport hotel, Pudong Airport in Shanghai, saying I hope you're living the dream. If you're not living the dream, you're probably doing it wrong. You probably haven't been to Shanghai yet. I'm excited to come back here. As I mentioned, I have a 10-year visa, so I'm excited to do some exploring for sure. Here and Hong Kong, and so want to check that out. So anyway. Talk to you soon. Ciao. So it totally works. Definitely allowed me to get, you know, better night's sleep than sleeping in the airport. So. And that was the best thing right there, because I brought my Makona with me. The bathroom's totally fine. You know, it's clean. It's nice. And, you know, it comes with a couple showers. Oh, sorry, a couple towels. And a shower. So, definitely, we'll be taking a shower and getting ready and heading off to my flight and heading back to LAX.